Hold on. Bear with us. We're trying. My greasy ass hair. We're trying. Oh, here we go. Lindsay got it. Never mind. I'm calling you. Just ignore me.
I said hi. Sorry. I thought I found these bugs and I thought they were termites, but they're just flying ants. So I'm killing them. You know, I love owning.
So I'm on this live and my hub's like comes down the corner and he's like, hey. I'm like, yeah. He goes, I'm going somewhere. I go, where are you going? He's like, I'm going to get us. I also won't say the restaurant, but he's like, I'm going to get us California rolls and crab ragoon. And I'm like, my God, the love of my life.
Oh my God. I don't know how to do the whole TikTok thing. So here
I don't know how to do it. Like, I have no idea how to. I don't know why I couldn't get it to work. And I don't know what Clinton's doing, but he said just 1 second. He's getting set up.
Yeah, so I thought these were termites, and then I found one, and it has a ant body, so it's not termites. That's good news.
Well, thank God for that.
Oh, yeah, because I couldn't handle another thing on this deployment. But
Where's Hank?
He's inside.
Hank's not allowed to join us.
He's inside. He is inside. For my followers that are on here, I can't really see the comments, but that's okay. I just filmed, and then I saw y'all were live, so I hopped on for a second.
Does it not show you the comment? Did it make you did it let you get on StreamYard?
Yeah, I'm on that. I just have to click on the thing that says comments. Yeah, I might not be able to show Hank because Hank and Moose got me banned last night.
That's why you can't do it.
No, I was able to go live. I appealed to live and they gave me my live privileges back, but I literally was showing everybody Hank and Moose and then they took me down for harassment and bullying.
That's bullshit.
And the second live on my backup was way worse than the live that was on the main account.
Well, the good thing about this is when people comment, I can pin the question so that all three of us can see the question that we're answering or, wherever we go from here. So.
Yeah. So, I don't know where you guys picked up, but yesterday was a long ass day.
Oh, I know. Somebody said something. I go, I got one call at lunch and it was to Lindsay. And I was like, you got pen and paper? I'm trying to spew it out. I didn't get to eat. I was hangry. Someone kicked over my pizza onto the ground and Clint had watched me have a little temper tantrum. Like, yeah, it was a long ass day.
So rude. I can't believe it's the audacity for me.
Yeah. Like a girl can't have her fucking pizza.
Someone said Hank was bullying me. Fair.
Yeah, we got up at 3:45, or I got up at 3:45 yesterday to get to the courthouse. It was a blast.
I think I texted SoJo at like 5 on the dot.
Oh yeah, and so in the morning I told Clint, so it was me and LB, and then we went to go pick up Teresa from the Sun to all go ride together. And I called Clint. I was like, I'll be there in just a minute, and the whole normal crew was there. It's a good time.
I should have been there, but norovirus.
Can you see this comment?
Yes.
Okay.
The dynamic shift. Are you talking about the Amazon boxes? Is that what we're...
Oh!
My live went from 0 to 1,000 on my backup channel last night.
Okay, what they're talking about, the dynamic shift, I was talking about with me and Clint at court. I told you certain people weren't talking to each other at all, and certain people wouldn't talk to a certain person, so you could tell there was a dynamic shift going on because it was palpable. You could feel the tension that there are certain people not talking to certain people. But I said, I don't cover that kind of thing, so we need to defer to somebody. So that's you. Let's go.
So the dynamic shift. So you want me to say what I know is what you're saying?
I mean, I can't explain all that, but you can explain the dynamic shift.
So obviously we know yesterday there were only certain Duggars in the courtroom. And that was Jim Bob, Anna, Jason, James, Joyanna. The dynamic shift is that not only did Joyanna and James and Jason sit pretty much behind the prosecution, But Anna and Jim Bob did not talk or say a word to each other or pretty much acknowledge each other the entire time during court.
So I've seen some people talk about that. So somebody was sitting with the prosecution or somebody was sitting with the defense. And I think it's important for people to realize there was not dedicated seating. So the prosecution had a row, the defense had a row, and then media had a row. Everything else was general seating. So
well, then
before
there was
lunch,
government too.
Yep.
Well, that's prosecution. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
But before lunch, the kids were sitting behind the media section behind, which was on the prosecution side over there. After lunch, they were sitting all over. Joy was actually sitting behind me, and we were over on the defense side.
Yeah. So what do I think that means? Do I think Anna will leave? No, I don't think Anna's leaving, guys. I've said this on my channel and I've said this in comments. Anna won't go because at the end of the day, and Jim Bob, you can call my lawyers if you have a problem with this, but at the end of the day, Jim Bob and Michelle are going to do everything in their power to keep Anna on the property. They're going to make sure that she's taken care of financially, make sure that she's taken care of, that her kids are taken care of, that they're still going to church. Just because Anna and Jim Bob didn't acknowledge each other in court, they probably either A, planned that so that it didn't look like they were conspiring anything, but also maybe there is real tension and they're not telling us about it. Maybe there
he let her walk to the car by herself in that fucking storm.
Right.
It was clear by the time the court was over.
But the thing is that you would think if by all the reports and the way that we know that the Duggars work, that Anna and Jim Bob and Michelle should 100% be on the same page, but maybe they're not. Maybe there's something that we don't know. But yes, this did happen. They did not talk to each other, nor did they acknowledge each other all day in court.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. And then I think what really irritated me the most out of all of this was what you posted it and you told me about it, but that Josh was upset because once he gets out of prison, he can't view adult pornography.
That it was the audacity for me. Clint was making fun of me earlier. I talked about this a lot yesterday. Like we were eating and I'm like, really, what the fuck? But no, really. So one of the stipulations of the supervised release is that he can't watch adult pornography, and he had the fucking audacity to object to that. And if this was internet fraud or like tax evasion or drugs or something, you want to watch porn, First Amendment right? Fine. Okay, but this is a sex crime. You've been convicted for a sex crime related to porn, and you pretend like you're this perfect family man, this perfect Christian, blah, 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 and you object to fucking porn? Really? It's the audacity for me.
And then the only time he showed emotion was when he had to pay the $50,000 up front.
100%. Yep.
Every article that I've seen, every update that I've seen said that nobody showed emotion until Josh was told he cannot view any form of pornography, which, Jesus Christ, duh, what a fucking idiot. And second of all, then he had to pay $50,000 up front. He was more upset about the money than the fact that he's going to spend the next 12-ish years in federal prison and then 20 years on supervised release.
We're pissed about $50,000 and porn.
Wow, good priorities. Not the fact that you're going to be gone from your kids' lives for 12 years.
But $50,000 and porn.
I really think that. Yeah, I really think that they think they can win an appeal. I think that's what's going on.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Delusion, yeah, for sure.
I legitimately think that they believe they're going to win the appeal. I think that Anna legitimately believes him. Like I think that's why she was not as upset about the
Clint,
accusations.
Make sure to tell us. So I'm going to do when I see you in public now. I was like, is she waving? And
no.
Like, this is what they do to each other now. Like
this would have been me. Rock on. See you in 12 years. Not, I'm leaving. Rock on. Yeah. So the pin question is, did any of the siblings except Jilly Muffin acknowledge the sentencing conclusion? Jason did put out an Instagram story today. I feel very indifferent about Jill and Derek's statement. I understand where Jill and Derek are coming from. It was very on point for what I thought they were going to say, but Jason's was like, yeah, well, God will work with him and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, somebody, that's 50,000 less to the windows or the widow.
I love Marianne.
But like, you know, it's just really telling that the only people who have said anything, and I don't expect them all to say anything. I'm actually shocked that Jim, Bob, and Michelle didn't put a statement out asking us to pray for their precious baby boy. But, you know, it's just really telling that only, you know, they put out a statement, and then Jason putting out a statement kind of actually shocked me. Because he usually doesn't speak up.
Well, in the contents of what Jason said too, you know,
Right.
in the circles that runs in, that was a scathing statement that he put out.
Right.
I mean, Clint was reading it on the TikTok right before we switched over, but I mean, if you want to pull it up again, you can read that again for us. But I haven't seen it. You know, I don't follow them. I get this information from y'all.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I just think that they're all delusional, and I agree with Clint. I think that they really think they're going to win the appeal. But what a lot of people that I've tried to explain is that when they file an appeal, it's standard. Everyone always files an appeal, but I don't think it's going to go far.
No,
especially because the judge did deny those motions for a new trial or acquittal. So I don't think the appeal is going to go very far.
And they have to file it in 14 days. So
Right.
the appeal will be filed. They said that in the pre-sentencing motion that they're going to file it. They made it clear at court yesterday multiple times they're going to file it. So within the next 2 weeks, there will without a doubt be.
Right. So don't be shocked if an appeal article shows up.
Like, it is coming. In the next 2 weeks, it is coming. There will be an appeal filed. It's all going to be bullshit, whatevs.
There were several things in court where, for example, they had objected to like the entirety of the first half of the pre-sentencing report. And the reason for that is because it assumed that he was guilty because he was convicted. They said, we are maintaining our statement of innocence because we are planning to appeal. And so the judge was like, that makes sense. We have to overrule that for the purposes of this hearing, but that's proper.
Judge Brooks was like, that makes sense, but also, like, Josh, you've done some really shitty things.
Right. Judge Brooks is a legend. He's a whole ass vibe.
Right.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, how Brooks is like, I mentioned I'd go to a civics class taught by him. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
Clint, tell the people who you are. The short story is that he's a computer expert genius bestie who was a witness in the Duggar trial for the prosecution, but I'll let him tell you himself.
That's it. Pretty much. So I've known the Duggars for 20 plus years now.
20 years long.
Yeah, pretty much.
20 years and counting.
Yeah, we went to their church for a while. When the church split back in 2006, we were part of that split. And then Josh and I had a conversation back in 2010 that ended up being relevant to the case because the prosecution used that conversation to help prove that Josh understands technology. Since it was a fairly technically involved case with some of the stuff that was done, they brought me in to basically say, no, Josh knows how to do stuff with computers.
Clearly.
And he showed it.
He showed it.
He showed it. Hashtag in Clint we trust.
I saw that. I was waiting for him to stop talking.
That's the new trending hashtag. Hashtag in Clint we trust.
Yeah. So yesterday when I was on live, you know, I had to make a pin video because it was the same core questions, you know, like, how long is he going to be gone for? And, you know, I had this moment earlier today before I had a McDonald's Coke that actually is the reason why I have my recap film, because by noon today, I was about to text you and be like, I literally said yesterday that we were dead inside for over a year of covering this. I am feeling the hangover now. I am feeling the absolute hangover.
Okay, but listen, I was about to tell you, I have a whole notebook of notes from yesterday, and obviously I'm going to record a podcast. Clint's going to get sucked down into it. I might suck both y'all into it just so I don't have to do it by myself because we're all feeling burnout. Maybe we can all take 33.3% of it. But I was going to say, I'll send you a video of all the notes, or I can send you 500 pictures of all the notes so that you have content that nobody else will have that you can go ahead and post, because my ass is, I'm doing my motherfucking best, but that ain't saying the most because we're all burnt out around here.
Honestly, I think that all of us, including the people on the back end, we need to plan a group vacay. We need to go on vacation.
Yeah, Carrie was. I was sitting next to Carrie in court, and she said something like she's going on vacation today, and we were all outside the courthouse before it opened. We were all like, "Oh, that sounds great."
SoJo, can you pin Livy B66 comment? I want to address that.
Yep, here we go.
All right. So the comment is, when he gets out, do you think Anna will just turn a blind eye and allow him to be alone with their young children? She has no choice. The person who will be supervising him will be a third party. It will be
that wasn't specified.
It wasn't specified
so
because that's what I was told. So
here's what they said. They
so what they said in court was
them.
what they said in court was that he will have supervision.
Okay.
But that's going to be up to the parole office. And what Brooke said is typically that supervisor is a spouse or a parent.
Oh,
because
really?
The thing is, he can live with his kids. It's just he can never be alone with his kids. So it's got to be somebody that's like can basically live with them. And I already know what people are going to pop off about. She's not going to protect them. What the fuck? I get it, but that's the deal.
And here's me coming on headstrong. I've had multiple people in my Instagram and TikTok that are probation officers, CPS, things like that. So I was just going based off of what I was told is that it could be a third party and it would more than likely be, but now that kind of makes sense.
And it very well may be. It's going to be up to the parole officer in 12 and a half or in 12 years to make that decision. So it very well could be a third party, but that hasn't been decided.
Who wants to do math? It's $100, $30,000, $15,000, and $10,000 for a total of $50,100.
There was a $3,000 and a $5,000 special assessment, and I don't like. He said this is a special assessment. This is for this, but I didn't catch what the special assessment was for.
Yeah. How many of its kids will be over the age of 18? 3 of them will be 8 months, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We did this last night, you guys. We masked last night. I think 4 of them will be still under the age of 18.
So they'll have to designate.
Yeah.
They asked for 3 different facilities. Me and Clint talked about that earlier. They asked for Seagullville, which is in Texas, Texarkana, Texas. And then they asked for another one. I don't remember the name, but it's
Fort Worth.
But that's a medical facility. So he's not, I don't even know why they bothered. It's medical. He's not getting into the medical facility. So at least Texas and Seagullville. And he won't be transferred until they decide for sure where he's going and make a space for him and transfer him down there.
And
why they would pick Texas, I don't know.
And from my understanding, we won't know that he's being transferred until after he's transferred. Yeah, Michelle was not there.
No, she was never there. She didn't come to a day of court, and she didn't come yesterday at all. That's fake news. Not once.
Probably because Jim Bob doesn't want her to be there, to be honest.
He had to hear some of the stuff that he skipped, though.
Yeah, just knowing her, too, I feel like it would have been too hard for her. I don't think she could have handled it. And so she probably intentionally made a decision to say, I'm not going to be there.
Well, and she also has 1,075,000 kids at home, including Anna's. So
this is for sure for Lindsay. This is a Lindsay question.
Do I think Anna will learn to take out the trash in the next 12 years? Well, if she doesn't, I will teach her personally. Because I did it yesterday. But I mean, that's why she has 7 kids. That's what they do is they have kids, they educate them, and then expect them to do their jurisdictions.
So she's getting trolled for not doing that, which I agree.
Right.
I agree.
Someone said I better trash is piling up. Love that.
Bet he does.
And the Seagullville location, Brooks commented that was actually his preference to send Josh because they have a sex offender treatment program there that he can't order Josh to attend while he's there because Josh is maintaining his innocence, but that is the program that he wants Josh to participate in. Mm-hmm. So he said he's going to forward the recommendation for Texarkana or Seagullville with the designation that Seagullville is the court's preference. but ultimately it's up to the Bureau of Prisons.
And Seagoville is in Dallas County, so it's in northern Texas, and it has 1,736 total inmates. So less than 2,000 inmates. It's a small facility. It's all a male offender facility, which but the thing is, it's a low security federal correctional institution.
I would just like to say that this YouTube is humbling me. I didn't realize how off my jaw was because I sleep on this side. So I definitely need to go see the chiropractor. Wow.
That's what's so great about being like this is because I don't need to see myself on anything.
No worries. I'm not going to come after your brand.
I'll send you a mic, girl. I'll paint it for you, get it all looking cute and shit.
Oh God, I need to get one with how much that I do videos.
This has to be for you.
I'll just lean this microphone over like
Clint,
that.
Get it.
So.
Get it.
What did you use on our live last? A plate.
Oh yeah, I used a plate in the menu last night. Clint.
Anna has family near Fort Worth. She sure does. The Wallers, her sister Priscilla and her husband David, who was at trial, who wrote a note on the church letterhead.
And was there yesterday as well.
Oh, was he?
Is there sitting next to her yesterday.
Must be slow at the church lately. Is he gonna?
I don't know any of these people anymore. I had no idea who that was.
David Waller. Yeah, David Waller is Anna's sister, Priscilla's husband. They're very deep into the church. Very deep. Scary deep. Some of the videos that are out there of Anna and Priscilla worry me. They keep me up at night, for sure. Lindsay would wear a Cody mask to hide her. Fair. A Cody mask with ramen on my head. Fair. Very fair. Yeah, the big topic that we had, for those who were on my live stream last night in the backup account, there was a very heavy topic we talked about, and it was, do we think Anna would actually stay and wait the 12 years, or how can someone who is taught that serving your husband is what you're supposed to do and having children is what you're supposed to do, and now she's going to have to wait 10 years? And the big topic was, does IBLP allow the buzz and to keep her okay? And it turned really south, and I'm bringing it up, and watch the comments go up.
She's desperately wanting it to get south. She's coming in hot.
Yeah, that was the big conversation was for someone who is taught that having children is her, and that, giving herself to being joyfully available is what she's supposed to do. Would she utilize Amazon Prime?
I'm going to vote no, but she was not alarmed by the request to watch porn yesterday. So I don't know.
I would be alarmed.
I think her lack of reaction to that personally, I think just shows how dead inside she is.
Yeah.
I would love to live a day in Anna's brain. Honestly, I would love to. I think she puts on a really hard poker face, and I'm sure as soon as she got into the car yesterday, she broke down. She was trying to put on a brave face, but I would love to know how she actually feels.
When she came in, she was chatting it up with a person. We're not going to mention them. You wouldn't even know them. It doesn't matter. She was chatting it up with a younger person that's substantially younger, but related to legal as far as Travis Story's law firm goes. A career suicide, but I digress. So anyways, that person had come to trial and sat with Anna before. It's kind of buddy with her. So that person was with her until things got started, and then that person had to be seated elsewhere, which at that point, another lady that we don't know, I don't even think Bobby knew, this other woman, but I had seen the other woman because she came to the last day or two of trial. But there was a guy that nobody's ever seen before, but we saw him in the morning, me and Clint and I did. And then there was Keller, and then Anna. And you've already said out loud, so it's fine that her brother and his wife came.
Right.
you know.
Yeah, I don't think the Sun reported that they were there until later because they didn't know who they were. Wouldn't she be considered a good wife and above all if she waits for her husband? Absolutely. That's how they were. That's what they had instilled in her brain.
None of us know the answer to this question, but she did come a couple days to trial.
Somebody name dropped her in my comments. I'll have to go back and find it on TikTok because somebody knows her. I think she's a law student.
No, don't do that one. Don't do that one.
No, wait. There's two blondes.
So what you said, I was trying to spare that girl just now when I said it. But that's true. That's true. But there's another blonde-haired woman who's like, what, Clint, 50s, 60s?
No, I was thinking she was probably 40s. She sat down next to me during the trial or during the sentencing.
50s. But she had come with her husband to one of the days of the actual trial, and she came back and sat next to Clint. Clint, I also stole some of your snacks that you had while you were not in there when they sat down. But yeah, I didn't know who they were, and
she brought the coffee in the afternoon.
Love that.
I did not recognize her at all. Her husband looked familiar to me though.
We love it. We stand some Marianne. We love us some Marianne.
The Bob is sinful because it isn't. Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know this, Clint.
What fall in IBLP? I don't understand that question.
Are you sure it's IBLP? Well, there's like a lot going on with IBLP right now, and there's also a lot going on with ATI right now, which is like the homeschooling system that they use. The fall in IBLP, I don't know too much about it yet. I haven't really jumped into it when it comes to that, but I have a feeling when that Amazon documentary comes out, that's supposed to come out at the end of this year. They're kind of doing it like they did Lula Rich, where they're going in and they dissected LuLaRoe. They're going to do the same thing with IBLP.
Yeah.
I think Duggar wasn't there.
I think that will completely deteriorate a good chunk of IBLP because it's literally going to deep dive into every part of it.
I don't know what this one means. I don't want to pin it in case that person... What other questions you got for us? Send them in.
Yeah, I've got about 18 more minutes, and then I got to upload my series before it takes me 30 years to do so.
Well, I'm going to have to eat my crab ragoon here when my God-sent husband comes back with the takeout. I didn't even ask him. He didn't even know. He just knew I was on this live, and he was like, "Oh, I know. Thank God."
We talked about this. You and your husband are telekinetic with each other. It's great.
I swear to God, we are telekinetic. The man just knows.
He does. He does. He does know. He knows me too because I'm always yelling into your FaceTime.
Okay, but here's the funny thing. So I was telling him, like, hey, one or two people probably gonna stay with us, whatever. Well, when we were FaceTiming the other day, he heard you say you weren't coming. So later on, he was like, what time is Clint coming tomorrow? And I was like, I don't know. Did Clint say he's coming tomorrow? Like, he's welcome here anytime to say he's coming. And he was like, is Clint not spending the night tomorrow for sentencing? And I was like, and he can if you want, but I didn't know. And he was like, who's staying with us? He's like, Lindsay said she wasn't coming, and I thought I just assumed the other person was Clint. And he was like, who's coming here?
If Lindsay's not coming, then no one else can come.
He's like, what's going on? Did the Spivies go to the Wallers church? That's a question for Lindsay.
I actually don't know that answer, but I'm gonna do this real quick. I'm going to screenshot it so that I don't forget, and then I'll just post that and be like, "Ooh, look at the squad," and it's just us three. But I am actually going to have to deep dive on that.
Here's one for Clint, but you don't have to answer.
So we didn't go to the Duggar church for very long. My family was Southern Baptist. We went to the First Baptist Church here in Springdale, and summer 2006, something like that. We left the church and started kind of shopping around for other churches. And that fall, we had kind of settled on going to the Duggar's church. We knew several of the people, large homeschool families in the area. We knew several of the people that were going there. And so we started going there for a bit, but we really only attended for a month, maybe 2, before the information about Josh came out and the church split. And that was when like Jim Bob and Michelle were calling people in the church and telling them that this information was out. And my mom was telling me she distinctly remembers Michelle calling her and telling her what Josh had done. And mom just sitting on the phone saying, Michelle, stop. I don't want to know. Stop telling me. Stop.
Why do they talk about it like it's hot gossip? Like, do you know what my son did? Like, get out of here.
I think what happened is they were panicking because this was when the CPS report had been called in. And so they were getting investigated by CPS, and people were freaking out. There was a big rumor in the community at the time that basically CPS was going to come take everybody's kids away. And so there was a lot of concern about that. And so I think Michelle was legitimately scared about it. And so she was trying to get ahead of the story, but also just word vomiting because she did not know what to do.
I have my thoughts on whether or not they should have come in and taken.
I mean, in hindsight,
Clint, you got another one down here. Now that people know that you know the Duggars, Clint, bless it.
Yeah, it's still weird. Like, it's still shocking, I think. Like I said, I knew about I knew about the molestation back in like 2007. So I've known about it for a long, long time. So I knew he had issues. I knew about the Ashley Madison stuff and all of that kind of thing. This is still just another level. When the charges came out, it was mind blowing. Just for some context, Josh and I are the same age. Josh is a month younger than I am. Josh and I are both homeschooled. Josh and I are both the oldest child. So there's quite a bit of parallels there. And I remember when I saw the charges come out, I just remember thinking, we had similar upbringings when we were kids. Clearly we diverged somewhere.
Right.
And there's an old saying that's, but there for the grace of God go I. And that is all I could think of for months afterwards.
So we got one thing we got to point out first, and then 2 huge questions for Clint. Sorry, Clint. They now know. First off, this is a huge one. Anyone who's a big Duggar follower, someone that's been researching this, Alice for her birthday got a 12-year sentence.
Hell yeah.
So Alice got
Hell
one
yeah.
there. I love that. So now let me come back up here because poor Clint.
If we get banned, it's because Hank showed up.
Yeah, Hank's always causing problems.
I'll tell you later what he did last night.
I have a feeling it probably resembles what we did the other day. Clint, you want to answer this one? Or you want me to move on to the next one? Because I know the answer to this, so you don't have to if you don't want to do that one.
That is why the church split. So the CPS was called. The letter that had been written was found. It caused a bunch of contention in the church. CPS got called. Alice wrote the email to Oprah. Oprah called the police, that kind of thing. There was a disagreement between 2 families in the church. And actually, when Jim Bob called my dad, Dad said that he was telling him lies about an individual in the church that Dad knew weren't true, because he personally was there when whatever had happened. And he said, Dad, it was maddest I've seen Dad probably ever. And I think that if Dad saw Jim Bob in the street today, he'd punch him in the face just because of that conversation.
Same.
I love it.
But yes, it was 100% the information about Josh getting out is what split the church.
So here's just one for all 3 of us real quick. And then, which we're honored to have you on here, truly.
Yes, 100%.
And then Clint, I'm sorry. You're about to get drilled. Here it comes.
So just dead inside is kind of like
me.
Yeah, you kind of have no spirit. left. There's no emotion. Like you're going through the motions. Nothing feels real. It's a lot of people would classify it as depression, probably. But that's kind of how I think about it.
I just think that Anna doesn't know what to feel, to be honest, and I'm not defending her at all because everyone knows I have my own feelings on Anna, but sometimes I have to remind myself that this is how she was raised. This is all she knows, but at the same time, it's really hard. Lindsay, do you think the Duggars know who you are?
I think they do.
100%. Because Carrie said a while ago during trial that people recognize Carrie, like certain people within the circle recognize Carrie, and they said that they had caught a live of some sort, and the only live that she was on was with either SoJo or me. 100%, they probably are fully aware of who I am.
Well, we did the trio one time too, so
right. So they're not stupid. That's probably why my live was shut down, because even though
we're all getting reported,
their social media team works hard.
Clint,
so for the record,
tell your dad. Screenshot
for
this
the
right
record,
man.
For the record, I'm a junior, so my dad is also Clint. So there you go.
So then Clint and Trust can be a duel. You need a screenshot that and send it to him so that he knows.
Someone said they would call me from a mile away.
Oh, I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
You can't miss this mouth anywhere.
I love that the people know, like the shitheads know, like we're just speaking code. They're picking up what we're putting down. We don't even have to worry about saying it.
Hey, no scratching at the door, sir. No, sir, you're trapped.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm surprised Mary didn't send this one in.
The devil. Jim Bob works very hard.
Yes, he does.
The amount of comments that were deleted off his Senate page when I might have had something to do with the comments being on his Senate page, because I posted my comment that I posted on the Senate page. Yeah, he works pretty hard. Or he has a team that does it for him, because he was deleting them left, right, and sideways.
I mean, I'm telling you. Okay, give us some more questions, y'all, because the Hubs is coming back with sushi, so I'm going to stay on like 5 more minutes, and then, you hang... Clint saw firsthand what happens when I don't get my food yesterday.
Yarn work, are you referring to me when I was screaming at what Anna should do? Because I went off, and I think that's probably why my live got shut down. Because I went off on what I think she should do.
Well, I'm here for it. I went off about my pizza and ruined a local news station's live, but they're lucky that's all that. They're lucky Clint was like literally, he like ripped the pizza, was holding it. He was like, it's okay. I'm like, well, no, it's not.
She was about to go Breaking Bad and like throw the pizza up on the roof of the courthouse. Like she was that mad.
Freaking camera over and just lose my shit.
I would have just done it. I would have just thrown it at them, actually.
I was so pissed. Okay, here we go.
I may have commented on the Senate page after I saw Lindsay's video.
That's amazing.
Love that. I love that I can tell who's part of my page because they use my nicknames.
Yeah, it made 1988.
Yeah, so the comment there about Amy said him never changing. Like he's been watching porn since he was 16. We know. So
give me it.
Well, we know. Well, I wish Bowman was on here. We'll have to do another one and add Bowman on here because Bowman will. Anyways, this one's another one for you, Clint.
Yeah, she does. I think she might ham it up a little bit for TV, but that is what she sounds like.
It's too monotone for me. I beg, can you please stop?
Yes, it's too high pitched. I can't do it. Okay, so let's do a couple more, and then y'all know I gotta go eat before I hurt somebody.
Before she throws her sushi on the roof of her house.
Yeah, I can't have another temper tantrum. That's only once annually. That's a lie. Clint hears me call and have temper tantrums about shit, but you don't understand.
So, Joe, we literally hang up on the phone so we can go eat because we both start getting irritated, and it's not with each other; it's just in general.
You can ask Clint all the time. I do the same thing. Like when I'm with him, I gotta eat. I'll be on the phone with Clint. I'll be like, listen, I gotta eat, and I'm not trying to smack in your ear, but a bitch is hungry. So, can someone explain the objection about the pornography? Basically, the supervised release. One of the conditions was that he's not going to be allowed to watch pornography. And they stood up and objected to it. And Clint will tell you, and Lindsay too, like the audacity, because the one, this is a sex crime. Two, you're claiming to be this great husband and father and this Christian man, whatever, and you object to not being able to watch pornography of all things, like for reals.
Right. Like, what are we? If you eat my sock, you're going to be put on the roof with SoJo's pizza.
Right.
He's still doing it. Yeah. It's, you know what? It's literally the audacity. Like, I will say that, yes, their argument was valid because adult pornography is legal. But in this case, not, first of all, no. Absolutely not.
Yeah, just no.
You shouldn't be 500 feet within a computer at this point. You know what I mean? But it's just, it's the audacity to even ask. Like, why are we here in the first place? Why have we been going through this whole thing for the last year and a month? Because you were viewing CSAM. So what makes you think that a judge is going to be like, you know what? It's okay. You can just view adult pornography.
But you know what? Here's the thing that tops it off, though. So he's like, he objects, he wants to watch child pornography when it just looks bad no matter what, and the fact that he's like married and all this stuff. But on top of that, he literally got his ass called out because he was like, were you thinking about your, like, you're a family man. All the letters said you were a family man. Were you thinking about your family when you did this and the scandal it would cause? Like, were you? No.
I think Brooks did a fantastic job of teeing the ball up and hitting it there, because he was very complimentary. He said, you know, when we're sentencing someone, when someone's going through a trial, we're focusing on the bad things that they did, you know, and then when we're sentencing someone, we're focusing on punishing them for the bad things that they did. And he was talking about the letters, and he's like, these letters are helpful because they help the court get a more balanced perspective of the person, because obviously these are all pro the defense. And so he was talking about the letters, and he goes, you know, all of these letters, they paint you as a very hardworking person. They paint you as someone who's committed to his family and all this type of stuff. And then he gets through the whole thing, and he says, you know, I'm reminded of an old quote, and he said who it's attributed to, but I don't remember. He said, you know, the true test of a man's character is what he does when he's alone, and what you did when you're alone is atrocious.
You found a way to get past covenant eyes that was watching you to.
Right. And he went into him for a minute, and I was sitting there like, man, he teed that up and just knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, he really did. Clint, do you have a nickname for any of them, or you just Lindsay's inmate 1988, Mish. I call him Trash Bob and the dumpsters.
It went from Trash to Trashua to Trashly Madison, and then I kept getting Trash the community guidelines. I really wish I could just call him Trashly Madison or Trashua again. That was a big one, but then we changed it to Hefty because it's a brand of garbage bags. It's not weight shaming; it's just a literal brand of garbage bags. We're not going to call him Glad. And then it moved to inmate 1988. So I switched between Hefty and inmate 1988 now. But I make up nicknames for everybody. It's just how I am.
Rochelle donated $10, so remind me to send y'all Starbucks. I'll send y'all I'm buying a coffee drink.
Thank God I need it.
Right. Like I'll be sending everybody a Venmo for coffee.
And then I'm gonna send it right back and be like, I have a gift card, thank you. That's what I say to get through my day. Yeah, I like.
Yeah, so Covenant Eyes has more functionality than just blocking pornography. It's supposed to be an accountability software. So the idea is that if you have an addiction to something, that you can set up someone as an accountability partner, and they can see what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And it's supposed to help you work through any kind of issues that you have. The problem is Josh didn't see it that way. He saw it as a challenge. Which, I mean, to be fair, Covenant Eyes is easy to get around if you know what you're doing.
You just get a Linux partition.
Right. He did that.
Yeah. So when I worked at the church, I was on a trip and my dad had installed, I think it was Covenant Eyes back then, actually, on the computer, and it broke. You could not use the computer; it was completely broken. And so I had to get some stuff done, and I called my dad, and I was like, "Hey, just so you know, I'm about to turn this off." And he goes, "You don't have the password; you can't do that." And I said, No, you don't understand. I'm about to turn it off. Like, it's real easy to get around if you know what you're doing. I just don't do it."
Right. That's a question that I think I answered.
That's definitely for you.
This is the only theory that we have come to a conclusion on. Now, I'm not saying that this is 100% the truth, but this is what everyone's coming to the conclusion of. I jinxed this in my own heart because when I did the Duggar family tree, I said, Anna's pregnant with baby number 7. There's no way that her name will be Madison, though. And then they named her Madison.
They made it too easy.
I'm a really great influence. But I personally think the reason that they named baby number 7 Madison is because when you search Madison Duggar, they are hoping that anything Ashley Madison related is hidden, and they pull up her birth, which to this day, I check it once a week. It still pulls up the Ashley Madison stuff.
That is a genius. That's a genius excuse. Like, honestly, that's like a genius idea.
Because how is all brainwashing and all, everything aside, how as a woman could you name your daughter after the website your husband violently paid and cheated on you with?
You got a spam bot in your comments here commenting about nuclear solutions and desalinization plants. And
bye-bye.
Fucked.
They can't sit with us. They cannot sit with us.
Bye.
No, burn book, Regina George, that shit. No, sir.
I haven't watched that movie in a hot minute.
I feel like I need to watch it later because
I know. I feel like after, when I'm eating my dinner, I'm gonna turn it on because I need to laugh.
I feel like I might go eat my sushi here and just have at it with that. Okay, so we're gonna take a few more questions and then we got to go because we don't want another temper tantrum like yesterday's pizza.
Yeah. So. Again, that's why I think they named her Madison. They're trying to hide it. So, but it's not, because when you Google Madison Duggar, the first thing that comes up is the Ashley Madison. And I don't know who went ham on his Wikipedia page, but
I'm here for it.
And I honestly think this weekend, as part of the content, I'm going to rate his court sketches.
I think you should.
I don't know if I want to rate them or if I want to rank them.
But listen, I'm going to forget, but you need to text me about the court sketches when we get off of here so that I don't forget, because I got a little something for you, okay?
Oh, goody.
Yes.
Also, can we just note real quick how the son is a savage and literally was like, "Oh, Josh entered the court. He was wearing a suit, and it looks like he's lost more hair." I lost it.
I love Teresa. She's hilarious.
She's pretty funny.
Maybe they named her that so Josh would never forget what he did, or maybe he named her so that he would never forget. Wouldn't put it past him. 100%.
I tend to think the second one, like Josh.
Narcissistic behavior.
Yeah.
I think Josh enjoys hurting people, I think is what it comes down to.
What? No.
Yes. I think Josh enjoys hurting people. And I think that naming their daughter that hurts Anna.
Yep. And he enjoys it. That's the fucked up part.
Narcissistic fuck.
Yep. Uh-huh. He's such a godly man, though. Don't you know he builds forts?
Clint, tell them what he's called.
So when the church split happened, there were multiple people that I heard talking about this was the accusations against Josh is an attack from Satan against God's anointed, because Josh is God's anointed person, and he's going to do these great things in life, and he's going to be such a great influence, and this is all an attack from Satan trying to stop him.
God's anointed one. I can't.
How dare they try to take my position away from me? How dare they?
Disrespect. The disrespect.
It's really, you know what? I'm going to send Jim Bob a bill.
I think you should. Defamation.
Oh. Yeah, you know what? It's going to be a Duggar long defamation trial, and I'm going to burn him to the ground.
Obviously, we're joking. We're joking. First Amendment rights.
It's a joke. Sorry, for those who don't know who I am, I have a very dark humor, and I just legally in my brain and in my religion, which is food, I can't stop it.
All three of us have a very dark sense of humor. We're like actually friends actual friends in real life talk when you guys aren't watching us and stuff. So everybody knows the dark sense of humor.
And not only do I have a dark sense of humor, I don't know how to control my mouth. You can ask my father. So,
people know I don't.
Why doesn't Doodle Bob? Ooh, Doodle Bob's a new one. I love that.
That's a good one. Clint, what do you think? I think it's probably for some tax benefit or some shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting to me that the claim was made yesterday that Josh had been supporting this widow financially for 4 years or whatever it was, and he did it with anybody knowing, and it was all secret. And then every single letter that somebody submitted mentioned that. So how secret was it?
Right. Everyone knew, so it wasn't that secret. I make people do bias checks, and the only bias check they can say for Duggar is, we got Clint out of Duggar. That's their bias check.
Rude boy.
Okay, give us a few more questions, then we got to go, because,
Hank's hungry.
So,
me too.
So there is a comment down here from Vicky. I guess they believe that God has sent Josh to prison, even though he's innocent, to be used of God. So an interesting thing, when Josh first got sent down to Little Rock back in 2003, there was a discussion about what they would tell the public, basically, if somebody asked where Josh was. And the comment was made that they would tell people that Josh was ministering down in Little Rock. And when somebody said, "What do you mean? He's no, that's not what's going on." The excuse was said that, well, the people that he's down there working with have done worse things than he has. So him being there is him ministering to them by default.
What a joke. Yeah. Yes. Oh, and here's the thing. That's $2,000 a month to the widow, and the widow is Jim Bob's friend. It's Clark Wilson's wife, and I'm not calling her out. One of them called her out. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, first off,
it's a public document. It's a letter filed with the court publicly.
Yes, with her name
the
on
judge.
it.
The judge also was like, that doesn't usually happen. So I feel like I can talk about the names here because these are usually on the private docket.
We talked about that.
Yep. And I called Clint. I was like, why are these? That's not supposed to be out. Immediately when Clint texted me, where did you get that? That's not supposed to. Why? But the thing is, yes, the widow's Clark Wilson's wife. They're acting like nobody knew about it. He did it out of the kindness of his heart. Clearly, everyone knew about it. It's on every single letter. And then they're like, we submitted a letter, but it didn't get in time. But it's going to be of record with the court, but it's just not going to be read or acknowledged for this. And it was Denise Wilson writing a letter because obviously they public notice she hadn't written one, so she had one submitted by 8:30 the night before. That was also a catch by Clint.
Yeah, I got an email from court listener that there was a new docket entry at 8:20 p.m. The night before sentencing, and I was like, "Good Lord, get some sleep."
What the hell? What the hell?
I didn't know about the letter until the Sun reported it, and then I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Yeah." We're out of the woodwork now. We have been.
Always check the Google Drive you're on, Lindsay, because
you would think it's better by now.
Yeah. So like I mentioned, my parents have not spoken to the Duggars in years. My mom, we did go to Jill's wedding and Jess's wedding, and mom may have gone to Joy's wedding. I don't know that for sure. But they were more concerned with me saying something and the Duggars getting mad at me and suing me than anything. And that's why I told my parents, I was like, well, I'm just going to tell the truth, and you can't sue somebody for telling the truth.
Yep. Yep.
God forbid anybody tells the truth these days.
So we know the answer to this, but who wants to share what part they think is appropriate to share?
I think that they're either not saying anything or that they're telling the kids that he is ministering.
Doing ministry.
He's doing ministry work. He's going to help people that need it, and that's why he can't be here. That is absolutely going to be. We predicted that would be the narrative 6 months ago, and that's absolutely the narrative as proven by the letters that we saw. So I mean,
yep, they literally probably said they're telling him that he will be gone for this amount of time because he's doing ministry, and when he gets home, they'll by the time that he gets home or gets out, Mackenzie will be in her 20s. So, they can keep it up as long as possible, but one day those kids are going to get a smartphone.
Yep. Which is not supposed to be at that house, so I don't know. But Clint, this one's for you, and then I got to go eat before I get hangry.
I wasn't around Jim Bob much. I was around the kids, Josh and Jana, really, John David, because we were the closest in age. But I was around Jim Bob some. I never got like a creepy vibe from him necessarily, but I never interacted with him much at all.
The sarcastic comments coming in are on point.
God, as soon as they get out the internet, yeah, we know what's being said without being said, and that's probably one of the most fucked up parts of it.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, I got to go eat, but I can leave y'all up if y'all want to take on without me, but I know you had to go do something anyways. So.
If I don't upload that recap, my followers are going to take over my page and probably come and steal Hank. So I'm going to get off for tonight. But I would love to do this again whenever. I mean,
yes, so we can do this again tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, so we can have a Friday fuckery party if y'all want to. We can probably add some other people on here if we wanted to.
I'll be cleaning, but I'm game.
We can add up to 10 people if we want to add some other fuckery friends on here.
Wow. I'm in.
I'm down. Clint, you down? Clint's getting conned into something later as well, but yeah, you down tomorrow, Clint?
I'll have to check my work schedule. I got this annoying job. I have to do things and things like that.
Well, we'll do it at night so that everybody's, done working. But
also, I would like to vouch for SoJo because we literally were stressed on the phone on Tuesday for 3 hours about trying to get everything done. So her Duggar podcast will be a little bit late, but it's okay. Okay.
Thank you. Like, I'm doing the best I can. I'm just one person.
We were literally on FaceTime for 3 hours just stressing out about everything, and we just decided it will come when it comes.
Well, and what people don't know is there was an episode the thing like messed up and like it got the video and the everything, and like Clint spent all morning detangling it.
Yeah.
He doesn't get credit for the behind the scenes stuff that he does to save this shit show like constantly. So it's a team effort. People don't know that it's a team effort around here, but
it is. I don't think that people understand how much of a team it really is.
It's 100% a team effort. Y'all don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but
it's been a team for a long time.
It's been a team for a very long time, and teamwork to make the dream work. But we'll teamwork it again tomorrow. So
I think tomorrow I'm only filming like a book club chapter, probably the cult book because it's hot topics right now. So
I believe
I should be on. I'm in.
So tomorrow night we will have a fuckery Friday. And
wait, time out before anybody goes. Is tomorrow the last day of the deck trial?
It's closing arguments, so it'll be over by lunch. 2 hours from each team, I think. So
okay, I'm in.
Yeah, so we'll be done by like 1 tomorrow with Depp, and then we just. By the way, today they were also saying Clint or we riot for for a exit data thing. But yeah, so yeah, tomorrow night we talk about both Depp and Duggar.
I'm in.
All right, so we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.